Hello and welcome to this session of App Inventor 2 tutorials. So in this session we are going to talk about building an app which has a certain specialty to it. As you can see already that I'm logged into my App Inventor 2 account, and this account is actually hosted on a Chinese website. As you can already tell, there are Chinese letters here and stuff. Well, you see, the App Inventor made by MIT is actually open source, so anyone who holds the appropriate license, which is open source here, can get the source code and modify and use it to their or his modifications. So what the Chinese people did here, they turned this into a little nice kind of thing, because it now has theme support in it, which is fantastic, which is not in the original MIT App Inventor. So it's pretty nice, and it also has a fancy dark mode, which is pretty nice. But all in all, it's fairly the same thing with a few extra specialties, which we will get to in a second. So right off the bat, I'm already logged in here, and I already have a project named Project 1, and I have named it JXUST Music. JXUST is actually the abbreviation for my university name, so there's that. So once we go into it, it's just the same as the original MIT App Inventor loading screen, and let's wait for it to load in. And once it's loaded up, as you can see, it's the same familiar screen with your components tab on the left side, with this variety of different components sorted under this fancy arrangement. There are various kinds of extensions here, some of which is paid, because this is open source and the Chinese people just added some extra things that was never there, and they decided to monetize it, which is, I guess, good for them, not so good for us. Anyway, and on the right side we have our component screen, which we have already used up in this screen, and we have properties. So this is the app that I made a couple days ago, and it's fairly basic. You just have your main screen here with the title bar. As you can see, here is the app name, here's the package name for the app, which is nice, which is not exactly in the MIT App Inventor. So you can just change the package name and publish it under as a totally different app, which is great. Let's see what we have here. So in this first screen, which is the welcome screen, meaning this is the first screen you're going to get right after opening the app, or the user is going to get, we have an image, then we have one label, and then we have a horizontal arrangement, which is actually under this layout tab. Right here we just drag and drop this and then use it. The first two things are actually pretty simple, just an image with these properties, width and height, and the second one is just a label, same as before, width fill parent, which means it will fill the entire screen per width, and the height is automatic. But the main thing is here is that the horizontal arrangement, which means anything placed inside these box, which I will show you if I pull in another horizontal arrangement right here, is going to look like this box. Anything you put inside is just going to be horizontally arranged. Watch what happens when I put another button inside. See, whatever you put inside, it will be horizontally arranged, and then you can modify it in whatever way you want. So I'm just gonna go ahead and delete these things, delete it and pull this one back to where it originally was, and delete this second horizontal arrangement, and there we go. So this is just a neat little trick which I used, which is you click on the horizontal arrangement, and you fill the whole place like this, like with fill parent option for width and height. And then what will happen is it will just take up the whole space that's left over after these two components, which is label and image. And then if you choose the alignment center, like align horizontally, if you select center and align vertical center, it will just center whatever components you have put inside the horizontal arrangement right at the center, which is very convenient and it looks beautiful for us. So here in the blocks section, which is the blocks tab, once we have done with the designer menu, we design the app, we go into the blocks tab, and here you just go to control and then scroll down and find this, open another screen, screen name, screen. So if you just pull this thing, what this thing will do is this is a command or function, like it will open another screen with the screen name, then you select which screen it will go to. So this is the function we're going to use to move to another screen, which is the whole function of this tutorial, to teach you how to move from one screen to the next one. But you see this little icon here, which means that this is a warning, which means you cannot just use this, because there is no parent command or no encompassing command that will call this function, meaning you need something to happen before calling this function. It can be a tap from the user, some buttons command from the user, or something that will trigger this command. Now what I have, let me move this back to the trash bin, and let's see. What I have here is when enter.click, which means here when the user clicks this button, what it will do, it will open another screen with the screen name landing page. Now where is that screen? You see here you can create, add, copy or remove screen, and here I have this another page called landing page. In this page I have several other options which we'll get to in a second, but what will happen from screen 1 if you put this command? When the user clicks on the enter button, it will open another screen which has the name landing page. So you can put in any other page that you have in your app as the landing page instead of this. So once the user clicks then in, you are going to just get straight to this landing page. Now inside this landing page I have 3 options. So these are also the same kind of thing, and this is just a design trick that I have done. So what I have done is basically created a vertical arrangement so that it just aligns everything vertically. It's the same as horizontal arrangement, but horizontal arrangement always does things side to side. But for this, I wanted that everything to become from top to bottom, which is why I put this in. Now, App Inventor is great and all, but it does not actually truly give you the flexibility to put it everything exactly where you want to be. And in this Chinese version, there is one option to do so, which is the absolute arrangement, but you see this little golden V icon over here, which means you have to pay for it. Now that's not something most of us are gonna do, so we're just gonna have to make do with whatever's free here, which is open source. So I used a vertical arrangement, and inside it I put an horizontal arrangement named UniVisit, and inside that I put an image, which is image 1, and I set it to width 20 and 15 and edited my horizontal arrangement accordingly so that it just fits to the left side. You see, I also have this alignment to the left and to the top. Followed by that is a label, which is aligned centrally, and its width to fill the parent, which makes it look like this. The same thing is done for the second option and the third option. and I added another label to just show that more features are coming soon. So what's the function behind this screen? We can also see if we go to the blocks, it's the same as the screen 1. When the user clicks the UniVisit horizontal arrangement, you can actually choose if you want a component to be clickable or non-clickable, which means you can make any of the components you select here as clickable and not clickable. So what I have done is I have turned off clickable options for image 1 and label 1. Rather, I have turned it on for just this horizontal arrangement. It means wherever the user taps within this box, this option, it will trigger this block over here. So when the user clicks on UniVisit, it will just simply open another screen with the screen name Web Viewer, which is actually to visit the university website. I'll show you how to do that in a sec. The same thing for the second option. When the user clicks on image cal, which is here, this one, the second one, it will take the user to the image gallery page. And the same thing for the anthem page. Now the anthem page is just a page where the user will be able to listen to the university's anthem, which is a pretty nice one. So let's imagine the user just pressed on the Visit University web page. So what it will do, it will just simply take the user to the next screen, which is the web viewer. Now this is just a simple thing, and what I have mainly done here is went to the user interface tab right on the left side, scroll down and just drag and drop this web viewer component. What does this web viewer component do? It just loads up a website. That's simple. It's an internal website viewer, like an engine to view the website inside the app. It does not take any support from the Chrome system-wide web view or any kind of web view. It's something that's default, like totally system default. It just calls into the system default web viewer and just views it. So here I have just clicked on this ignore SSL errors, which will ignore any kind of HTTPS errors, which most of the modern websites have. Like if you do not have a secure connection, it will not let you to browse the website. So I have clicked on it so that it loads up the website regardless of the fact that if the website is secure or not. And then I have set the home URL to be the university's main website. And I have also added one home button, which will take the user back to the screen 1, and one back button, which will take the user back to the landing page, which means this one right here, so that the user can select other options. So back to the web viewer page. That's it. Basically nothing else, nothing special. The only thing special is the web viewer component, which we have already seen. Here you can also see the width and height to be automatic, which means the app will decide how much screen space this component is going to take up. So once that's done, let's go to another option, which is the university picture gallery. So once the user clicks on this option, it will automatically browse to this page, and here I have used a component from the layout tab, and which is vertical scroll arrangement. Now the first one is the horizontal arrangement, and I have done two little buttons just like the web viewer page, which will take me to the home and the back page. And then we have this vertical scroll arrangement, which is basically this little scroll bar, which means an user can add as many components as he wants, or not the user, actually the developer, which is you who is watching this video. They can add many things here, and like here I have just put some photos of the university, gate, our classroom, students and stuff. They can add as much as they want, but note that as more, like if you put more media component inside, it will just compile it along with the app, and your app size will increase because this is saved locally, not on server side. That's an advanced thing, so ignore what I said. So on this, under this vertical scroll arrangement, I put down 6 photos, and each of them has a specific width or height so that it looks nice. It's up to you how to design this, and this will let the user who's using the app to view your image gallery. And that's basically it. And even in the blog page is the same thing. So the main thing of this tutorial is to show you how this blog page works and what you can do to open another screen. And it's very simple. The designer tab is what lets you to truly unleash your creativity. So we're done with this page. So let's go back one step, and here we have the anthem page. So in the anthem page, it's basically simple, but I have done something very nice here. It's exactly like a media player, and with this idea you can actually create a media player. So what's happening here? What's this whole idea? Well, glad you asked, and let's see. We have one non-visible component here, which is player. Now what's a non-visible component, you ask? It means this one is going to be in the background, which means you can't actually see it. For example, image, this component is visible because it's an image, it's a visual thing. These buttons, which are also images in this case, but this needs to be visible for the user to interact with. But the player, it can be non-visible because it's something that needs to be triggered, not exactly directly like visually interacted with. You don't need to visually interact with it. You just need something to trigger it. So what's going on behind the shell, you ask? So let's go to the blog screen, and voila, this is what's happening. And it's very simple actually. So the logic behind the screen is, this is just an image, this is nothing. The main logic is behind these 2 buttons. Actually there is 3 buttons, but you are not seeing one of them. I'll show you how it works. So this play button, this is the play button, universal play button, everyone knows about it. You click on it and the music starts playing. What's the logic behind it? Simple. When the play button is clicked, do player start. Simple. The player will start playing. Now there is another thing here, which is the pause button, but where is it? It's not visible. So if I click on it, there you go, it's already there, but it's not visible. So what happens is, when the user clicks the play button, the player starts playing the music, but at the same time, following after that, it also sets the play button's visibility to be false, and it sets the pause button's visibility to be true. Meaning, what will happen once the user clicks on the play button is this. It will just quickly, in the glimpse of an eye, like simply change to this button. It will happen so fast you won't even notice it. So that's the neat trick here. So how did I get this? It's very simple. This called player.1 comes from this component which you have selected. So if I have not mentioned it before, whatever component you choose will automatically show up in the blocks tab, and you can see the corresponding options for those components right here. It's simple. And after that, you can just use them. Let me check if the recording is working. Yeah, the recording is working. Alright, so let's continue. And what about this part, like set play but to visible? What's this bullshit? Okay, This is actually very simple. You see these images underlying under this horizontal arrangement? Note that all of this, even the horizontal arrangement itself, has some functions. So it's fairly simple. If you just read these, you can fairly understand. If you have a little bit of idea what's going on around here, even if you don't, you can put your mouse on here and a small help will come up just like that. Like see dot click, user tapped and released the component. That's what it means. Long click, it means user held the component down, which means the user will press down on that component. It's fairly simple. So this play button, it comes from this play button. So you scroll down and you find set playbut.visible, which means this play button has a function which is visibility, and we want to set it to what? Logic here, true, false. These are the logic functions: true, false, not, equals to, and, or. The simple basic Boolean algebra logic. That's what's going on around here. Okay, so what does it do? It just changes the play button's visibility to false and the pause button's visibility to true. The same thing goes on when the music is playing. When the music is playing, then it will call player 1 to pause once you click this button. Once you click it, it will call it, it will pause it, and then it will change the pause button's visibility to false and the play button's visibility to be true. Now, and there's this static button, which is the stop button. Once you click on it, the player 1 will stop playing it. Now, how did I input the music here? It's very simple. You click on the player, you click on this source. If you have the music inside your media, it's great. If you don't, you just have to click upload and choose the file from your computer and upload it to their servers and then select it. That's it. Many of you will make a mistake when picking this player 1 out. When you go to media, you're going to find this sound too, and many of you, when you are trying to put a music inside, you're going to choose this. Note the differences between sound and player. Player plays the music. Sound, it's like a click sound. It's just going to stay for a quarter of a second or something. For example, if I drag it around, you're going to see another non-visible component right here, and once you click on sound, look, source, the minimum interval, which is 500 milliseconds, which means this sound, whatever it is, whenever it's going to be triggered, is only going to be played for this much second, and then it's gone. Meaning, if you have a certain sound when the user is tapping into one button and you want a sound to be played, like click, 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 something like that, or maybe if a notification is coming up and if for the notification sound you want to have a sound for that specifically in your app, then this is very important, the sound. Other than that, you should choose the player. This player will play any kind of music. And then we also have the video player if you want to have a video player component, which is C, just like that. But that's for another lesson. So that's basically it. That's how you change from screen to screen, and also now you know how to play music in your app in App Inventor. So that's it for this lesson. Hope to see you guys in the next one.